Hey folks, and welcome to They Might Be Racing. Today we've got a 1998 Dodge Dakota pickup here, and this one has the 3.9 liter V6 motor, which is probably the most common engine found in one of these, especially the 4x2 models. Today we were changing out the Serpentine belt. Now the deal with a Serpentine belt is that it drives almost everything involved with the modern car. And so almost every modern engine has it. The first thing you need, Serpentine belt tool. Now, based on your engine configuration and what you're working on, you may have to use the extender adapter to put it on. But basically the way that this works, and this engine is fairly simple, is you put the appropriate socket on the end of the Serpentine belt tool, set it on the tensioner, and in this particular case the tensioner is on this side of the engine. And what the tensioner pulley does is it makes sure that there's enough tension on the Serpentine belt while you're driving. So what you do is you simply manually release the tension, and then you slip the belt off. And then from there, the fun part is getting the Serpentine belt tool loose. There we go. So once you've got that loose, now keep in mind that you want to make sure you know how your Serpentine pulleys run. Most modern cars, if you look down towards the front or underneath the hood, will have a pulley routing guide on them. If you don't have that, you can either look it up online or get the manual for it. So basically, once you've released the tensioner, you can then slip the old Serpentine belt off. Now, the fun part about this particular vehicle is the depth of the fan shroud. What you want to do is get the belt slipped out without getting it tangled, like I just did. And come on. There we go. The other thing to keep in mind is anywhere where you have issues getting it out, you will likely have issues getting it back in. So keep those in mind for when you pull it out. Now, what's important to look at is if you see this particular Serpentine belt, you can see how it's all cracked and broken up. So some cracking on the ribs is not a huge deal. However, if you see stretching on the back, or if you see areas where you've got some more serious breakage like that, or I am looking for spots where literally the ribs have broken away, that's when you know you need to change the Serpentine belt. Generally, most cars have it in their routine maintenance. They tell you when you have to do it, so that part is fairly straightforward. So, toss your old Serpentine belt aside and get out your new one, keeping in mind how you routed it out of the vehicle. I find it's easiest to tackle the lowest pulleys first and work your way up. Keep in mind that you need to follow your belt routing guide. Thanks to the magic of the internet, we now have it fully routed. Now the trick on some of these is that you cannot always get the Serpentine belt tool directly in place. So what you need to do is, before you're ready to fit that last bit, get the tool on there. The first step is to focus on whatever pulley is not part of the tensioner. completely fed down and in. Before you release it, just let a little bit off so it's got some tension on it. Make sure it's seated correctly on all the pulleys. Double check your crank pulley, and then release the tool. At this point in time, in the space of roughly 10 minutes, you have put a new Serpentine belt on your engine. From here, really the only thing to do is, like I said, do a final double check on all your pulley grooves, make sure it's seated correctly, and you should be good to go.